gotta get back to the past. Samurai Jack, season 5, episode 10, the series finale. I gotta say, once again, another great episode. I know, watching other people's videos, on reviews or like episode 9 and stuff like that, little episode 8 and 9, where you got what like the whole Jack and Ashi relationship, should have been more of a student teacher, and then they, some people felt like, there's so many things, in the sense that so many scenes that they could have taken out throughout the series and stuff like. Well, I guess what I'm saying is like, I know some people might have felt that, this was rushed. Not that, I guess not particularly this episode, but the episode before that in a sense. But for me, I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it did pique my interest on how they was gonna go about doing it, but it kind of made sense because the whole thing is he has to go back to the past. If he kill Aku in the future, that doesn't the thing. If he kill Aku in the future, it doesn't do anything. His main goal was to go back in the past. So starting off, you basically have it's everybody is tuning in on like Aku channel type of thing. Where it's like, every single character, well, most of the characters that have appeared in this not this season, but the previous seasons, from the Woolies, from the dogs, from the archers, from every single character that you can think of, that tuned in, and it showed that there was like, Aku is showing us what's going down. You know what I'm saying? And I like it how they did it where it's like, again, he did it like he was a broadcasting type of thing. So the way they did it was the starting out of it, when he started, the starting out of the whole broadcast, Aku's broadcast, was like the intro to the original series. And then Aku jumps up and like, nah, that didn't happen. He's captured. I got Ashi as my basically henchman, and I have his sword. What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? So as it's going on, everybody's like, we gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? We have to help Jack. Jack is still trying to get Ashi to break out the trance, and she's doing everything she can, but nothing is happening. And so eventually, I don't know how this just happened so quickly. Well, obviously, I was about to jump. I was about to jump to the next scene. Well, the scene before that. After that. But after that, Aku's like, you know what? I'm gonna kill him live on TV. But let's decide what weapon he's gonna choose. So he's little comedic moment where he's changing his hands to different swords and blades and stuff like that. Can't decide what to use. He's like, you know what? Ashi, my daughter, you kill him. You know what I'm saying? And so right before she even strikes him, that's when the cavalry attacks. Everybody except the Scotsman ambush Aku. Arrows flying at him. Everything they launching at Aku. Aku's is like it's like basically these attacks doesn't even phase him at all. So you got to when that happened, Jack was freed, but now he's like, let me run and get my sword. But Ashi is still there. I guess I would say mind control. Ashi's still there fighting him. You know what I'm saying? We're still, still protecting the sword, still fighting Jack. So eventually, you got the Scotsman comes in. Him and the girls come in to help out Jack. A nice little moment with him and Jack actually talking, and like Scotsman was like, I think what he was trying to do is he was basically trying to he was like, hey Jack, I got all these daughters. I have like a bunch of daughters. One's gotta be good for you. He's like, I'm good, man. I'm good. He's like, what? My daughters ain't good for you? He's like, no, I met somebody. But technically, she's mind controlled, but I still met her. You know what I'm saying? And while they were still talking, that's when that's when Ashi attacked him. And then now Jack is like inside the black cloak stuff, still helping and fighting and trying to get Ashi to break free. Aku eventually like, you know what, forget all this. For a split moment, I thought he killed some people and then transformed them, but what he did, he just slammed his hand on the ground and then created a bunch of mini Akus that just went ham on everybody. While that's happening, eventually Jack is was at the last moment where Jack was Aku was getting consumed. Jack was like, "I love you," and then he shot out of the black stuff. And then once he said that, he was still fighting Ashi to like a certain point where she finally was freed. But I guess before I get ahead of myself with that was what is it? Yeah. That's when I don't know the characters' names, but the robots. But I think I thought it was the Guardian, but it was a giant war robot samurai being commanded by these robot characters. But I forgot their names. I don't know their names at all. So they was, he was piecing Aku in his face, bro. 1-2, bucking my shoe, bro. Eventually, Aku was like, I'm getting tired of this. Then he reformed all of the mini Akus, and then basically, first I thought he was going to transform into a huge creature, but he basically just transformed himself into like a little big giant black something. I can't really describe it, but basically it was like a bunch of little black deals raining down very fast. So he destroyed the robot samurai. He killed the guys that were inside of it. Some of the characters from the raid back in I think episode 6 or 5. I think it's maybe 6 or I think it's about 5 or 4. I forgot the one with Ashi. She was like trying to understand basically meeting all the characters that Jack helped. That's when some of them got striked, but not it didn't show like a bunch of them dying, but his the Scotsman's daughters, he was like, no one's gonna hurt my daughters. So he used his flute magic to repel all these the black spikes. Yeah, I'm gonna call them that. He repelled all those, send them back at Aku. And then after Jack he said I love you, it eventually allowed Ashi to repel Aku's evilness, I would say. It allowed her to still transform but still have the black outfit, because if she didn't have that, she'd be naked. You know what I'm saying? So now she has Aku's powers, and then because she was able to transform her hands into different weapons. She was able to shoot beams from the eyes. And then when Jack was like, Ashi, you have Aku's powers. She's like, you know what, I do. And that allowed her to open the portal to send them back to the past. And that had to make sense, because again, when you look at this whole episode, you ask yourself, how will Jack be able to, go back to the past? You know what I'm saying? So, there's no more portals. And without no more portals, Aku's not going to send back to the past, because that's going to mean killing him. So to have, it was a plot device to have Ashi get controlled, and then to have Aku's powers, and then to use Aku's powers to be able to use to be able to summon the portal to send them back at the time. And then it cuts to past Aku sending past Jack to the future, and immediately future Jack and Ashi appears. Aku's like, "You're back already?" And then Jack just went ham, slicing him left and right, finishing him off with one fell swoop. And that was it. And then, Ashi, she felt a little woozy because the effects of, someone from the past someone from the future, someone from the future going to the past, she was feeling those effects, knowing that she's not supposed to be there. And so, Jack is, his dad, family, everybody's alive. He was getting dressed up because I had a feeling he was marrying her. And as she was walking down the aisle, as she was walking down the aisle, that's when she fainted. And Jack was like, Ashi, are you okay? And exactly what it is because Aku's dead. That means I never was born, and she disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Breaking Jack's heart. He got onto his horse, and he was like, he was going into this forest area, and just sat down near a tree. A little ladybug flew on his finger, which was more symbolism. Because it's the same ladybug. Well, not necessarily the same ladybug, but the ladybug from, that Ashi's mother killed the ladybug that appeared when Ashi looked at Jack, and then Jack, caught his finger, let it go. So it was like a little symbol of that. And then after that, it kind of cut off with, because it was still filming 5 minutes left. It cut off and basically it did its own recap from episode 1 all the way to the final episode. And then after that, they're gonna do a marathon that thing next week from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. So, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to watch all those episodes anyway. But overall, man, this season did the series justice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of series don't really get proper season finales, and this one did it right. You know what I'm saying? It had to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't just end. I guess what I was about to say is for the end in which where Ashi can be with Jack, that would definitely break time-space continuum. It wouldn't make sense cartoon logic, but it had to stay true to itself. You know what I'm saying? For her to go into the past with Jack, but understand that Aku's your father. You know what I'm saying? He's not alive means you can't be there. So I mean, even though Jack is sad, he still has his memories of battling with her and being loving her and stuff like that. But other than that, man, that's really it. That is it. Samurai Jack officially over. Man, if only it had more episodes, but 10 episodes, it did it justice. It really did. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series review. Leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Deuces.